Both Austin Stephanos and Perry Cohen were 14 years old and became good friends. Austin Stephanos was born on December 1st, 2000, to parents Carly Black and William Blue Stephanos, and lived with them alongside his two younger brothers in Jupiter, Tequesta, Florida. Perry Cohen was born on January 30th, 2001, to Pamela and Philip Cohen, who divorced when he was a child. Perry lived with his mother and stepfather and his two sisters, and like Austin, resided in Jupiter, Florida. Cohen grew up on the water and was an avid fisherman, not to mention a strong swimmer. Stephanos was also passionate about fishing, and the two spent much of their time together taking fishing trips, diving, and swimming. They even worked at the same tackle shop, so they knew each other very well. On the morning of July 24th, 2015, Austin and Perry decided to go fishing, something which they did often. They met the previous night to confirm their plans at Stephanos' home, where both boys stayed the night. The teens often went to an area not too far offshore to catch fish, and this trip seemed to be as routine as any other. The pair boarded Austin's white Seacraft Centre console vessel, which was docked in the Jupiter Island Marina Inlet, after having visited the Jib Yacht Club and Marina, where they spent approximately $100 on gas. At approximately 11:25 a.m, the boys left the marina and set sail. Austin had operated the boat, which belonged to his mother, about 20 times by this point, so he was confident at operating the vessel and knew the safety protocols. For the duration of the trip, the boys kept in contact with their family members through Austin's iPhone. Perry's phone was broken at the time, so the boys agreed that he could also contact his family using Austin's phone. They sent messages to their loved ones every few hours and posted about their trip on various social media platforms, mainly Snapchat and Instagram. According to various sources, Perry sent a message to one of his friends on Instagram the day prior, which reportedly said, quote, "Me and Austin are crossing to the Bahamas tomorrow. Come with us. We wouldn't check in." It is also alleged that one of Austin's friends also spoke to him prior to the trip about visiting the Bahamas, though Austin claimed that the weather was too rough for this trip. A short while after the boys had set off on their fishing trip, at approximately 1:30 p.m, weather satellites detected fast approaching thunderstorms rolling into the Palm Beach area that warned of heavy rain and strong winds, reaching 40 miles per hour, which would undoubtedly affect Austin and Perry's voyage. The thunderstorm raged on for approximately an hour and a half, following which Austin nor Perry were ever heard from again. Austin's phone disconnected from the internet at approximately 1:15 p.m. when the storms hit, with his final social media post being posted to Snapchat, showing both boys on the boat with fishing poles and the quote, "Peace out, Jup." Acquaintances claimed that this meant that Austin and Perry were headed to the Bahamas. Another friend claimed that Austin had posted another video to his Snapchat account that day, which showed the looming thunderstorm, with Austin saying, "We're fucked." At 5 p.m. that evening, when Austin and Perry failed to return to the marina, their parents reported them as missing, and the Coast Guard began searching for them, using all they could at their disposal, including boats and various aircraft. Various other authorities were alerted of the situation and brought in to help, including the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, and both Tequesta and Jupiter Police Departments. The search was also conducted by volunteers who scoured the shorelines and beaches for any sign of debris. A fund was created online to help pay for private efforts in searching for the two boys. 2 days later, on July 26th at around 2 p.m, the US Coast Guard, who were in the air, sighted Austin's boat, capsized and floating offshore in a northern direction, approximately 65 miles off the coast of Daytona Beach. The Coast Guard tried to secure the vessel, but couldn't due to the adverse weather conditions. The same thing happened again months later in September when the boat was sighted, but once again could not be recovered. The official search and rescue operation ended on July 31st of 2015, having failed to locate and secure the boat, nor locate the missing boys. The boat was eventually recovered around 100 miles from Bermuda on the 18th of March 2016, hauled aboard by a Norwegian freighter who then transported the wreckage and its contents to Norway before transporting it back to Florida. Though many believe that the boys fell victim to the violent storms that occurred on the day they vanished, it should be noted that upon recovery of the fishing vessel, it was discovered that the key was in the ignition, turned off, and the battery was also switched off. The battery being switched off was incredibly strange, as it's very difficult to locate and is near impossible to switch off by accident. Because of this, some believe that foul play was involved, but there was no other evidence on board to suggest any sort of crime had occurred. Aboard the vessel, various items belonging to Austin and Perry were found, including various fishing tackle and Austin's iPhone, which had been badly damaged and exposed to the elements of the Atlantic Ocean for months by this time. Some items were missing from the boat, however, including a white Yeti cooler and some life jackets. The items that were found were all returned to the Stephanos and Cohen families, including the iPhone, which was given back to Austin's family. In 2016, the Cohens filed a lawsuit against the Stephanos family in regards to the iPhone having been returned to them without the Cohens being allowed to access the contents. They feared that the Stephanos family would potentially taint any evidence on it, so they wanted the iPhone to be examined by specialists who could potentially find any data or clues during their forensic analysis, which could help establish the whereabouts of the boys and the events leading up to and following their sons' disappearances, without destroying any evidence. The judge refused to turn the phone over to the Cohens, however granted the motion for the phone data to be analysed by technical experts at Apple. However, unfortunately, they were unable to extract any data, most likely due to the water damage that the phone had sustained over the months it had been at sea. Sadly, following the devastating disappearances of both Austin and Perry, the Stephanos and Cohen families, who were once close, descended into conflict with one another. It was known that Perry's family didn't want him to go out on a fishing vessel without an adult present, something which Austin's family were aware of. That day, of course, it was solely the two schoolboys. Because of this, Perry's mother filed a wrongful death suit against Austin's parents, his stepfather and his grandfather, alleging that their negligence led to Perry's death. The vessel which they were aboard was not seaworthy, nor were there any communication devices on board, such as a radio or GPS, which could have been used if they found themselves in trouble. Austin's father, Blue, had specific charges laid against him in regard to hindering the search due to looking for the boys himself before calling the authorities, delaying official proceedings. However, the Palm Beach County Court judge ruled that he was not liable in regard to the disappearance of his son and Perry Cohen. The judge did not believe that Blue's search increased any risk of harm to the boys, and the risks they faced were due to adverse weather conditions at sea. Both families set up foundations in memory of their sons. The Perry J. Cohen Foundation, which has donated to local organisations and schools and devotes itself to the arts, environmental, marine and wildlife education and preservation, teenage entrepreneurship and boat safety education. And the Austin Blue Foundation, which helps to promote safety at sea. The foundation even helped pass the Beacons Bill in Florida, which helps provide discounts for boat registration fees if they have a beacon on their vessels. Neither Austin Stephanos or Perry Cohen have ever been found, and despite the many theories as to what fate befell the two 14-year-old boys, it is presumed by most that they were lost at sea. At the time of his disappearance in July of 2015, Austin Blue Stephanos was 14 years old. He was Caucasian, standing at 5 feet 2 inches tall and weighing 115 pounds. He is described as having blonde to strawberry blonde hair with green eyes, with a birthmark on his upper arm. He was last known to be wearing a black, long-sleeved shirt, a pair of camouflage board shorts, and a gold neck chain with a cross. Perry J. Cohen was also 14 years old at the time of his disappearance. He was Caucasian, standing at 5 feet 2 inches tall, and weighing around 90 pounds. He is described as having brown hair and brown eyes, though it's unknown what distinguishing marks or features he had. It is also unknown what he was wearing on the day he disappeared. Both boys' DNA is available for comparison, but unfortunately, due to the circumstances involved, both Austin and Perry are classed as endangered missing. Following Austin and Perry's disappearances, the community of Jupiter held numerous vigils and memorials, offering whatever support and comfort they could to the families. A makeshift memorial was made by the marina, surrounded by seashells and candles. A statue was erected to honour the boys and others lost at sea, which was revealed in July of 2021, depicting a man and a woman overlooking the Jupiter Inlet, where Austin and Perry were last seen alive.